Oh, no, maybe.
I don't know. Oh, we're live. Are we live?
Hi.
Hello, we are. Hi, everyone. Cheryl Arkle.
Rae Cairns.
And this is What Are You Reading? You caught us off guard. We were just chatting just before you guys joined us. This is What Are You Reading? I don't know if you know this, Rae, but it is a very popular segment, loved by readers, loved by us. And it's usually Jane and I, but very occasionally we have a special guest, and you're our special guest.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, do you know, this came about because I was recording a podcast with Rae yesterday, and I said, where do you live? And she told me, and I was like, why don't you come in and do What Are You Reading? And here it is, the very next day, she showed up. So here's Rae, and Rae has written some books, of course. That's why she's here. And do you want to show them? Okay, so
Oops.
yeah.
There we are. My first
okay,
one.
So Rae can't hold up the
No,
books.
I'm my first.
Oh, that matches my shirt. The Good Mother was Rae's first.
Yes.
Yes. And Rae, you've got to listen to the podcast, but Rae self-published and then found a publisher. It's a fascinating story, and it's a unique story. Now, you all know I have spoken to so many authors, but this is the first take on getting published that I've heard about, with all those hurdles. You had so many hurdles and you kept persevering, and she got to this, and now she's got a new book out. There we go.
This is my new one, Dying to Know.
And what's it about?
It's a standalone thriller set in Sydney. It opens with budding journalist Geneva Layton receiving a phone call that changes the entire course of her life. Her terrified sister Amber is on the line. She is trapped in the boot of a moving car. She has no idea who her abductor is, and she's begging Geneva to help, and then the line drops out. So while the police look for Amber, Geneva's days are filled with taking care of her very young niece and nephew, the days turning to weeks, turning to months, turning to years. So when shocking new evidence emerges, Geneva is desperate for answers. But to get them, she has to take on the political power of her brother-in-law's family, the muscle of a motorcycle gang, and the questionable support of a policeman who betrayed her in the first month of the investigation.
And when I was speaking with Rae yesterday, she told me that the research for this book included hanging out with some bikies and shadowing a policeman. So you know that these books have been well researched. The Good Mother, and they're both standalone.
Yep.
And Dying to Know. Now, welcome everybody. Cheryl Arkle, Rae Cairns. We're here. It's our favourite time of the week. It's What Are You Reading? And I'm going to read some of our comments. Malvina says hello. Now, Malvina's a regular. Carolyn's a regular as well, and she says hi to both of us. Have just finished reading Meet Me in Another Life by Catriona Silvey for book club. I hope I said that. Katerina, I think that is. So now I have the delight of choosing a new book from my ever-increasing to-be-read pile. Life gives us so many pleasures. We are very lucky, Carolyn, aren't we? Alona says hi. Oh, gosh, somehow I'm a bit stuck here. Alona says hi. She said, The Good Mother was brilliant.
Thank you.
Look forward to reading Dying to Know. There you go. Malvina said, I'm happy to be here reading your preview copy of Estella by Kathy George and loving it. Congrats, Rae, on book 2. Sounds terrific. Maureen's reading Encore in Death by J.D. Robb. Cindy, hi Cindy, loved The Good Mother.
Oh, thank you again.
Jane Harvey says, hello, I've just finished The Other Side of the Stars by Clemency Burton Hill. Now reading A Question of Trust by Penny Vincenzi. How do you pronounce her name? Vincenzi, I think. Both great reads. I think is that a new one, that Penny book by Jane? If you can let us know, because she's been around for a long time. Penny Vincenzi. I used to sell her as a very young bookseller. Julie says, hi, ladies, my favourite hour of the week and ours. I'm just finishing When Things Are Alive, They Hum by Hannah Bent, and then about to start Mad Honey. Alita says hi, reading Go as a River by Shelley Road. Carol says hi to both of us and is reading The Crimson Thread by Kate Forsyth, who we love, Kate, as well.
Oh, she's next on my audiobook list.
Oh, there you go. So she's on your to be read list. Oh, Anne. Hi, Anne. Anne is my neighbour, and we often say hi to each other in the park. She's in the middle of Becoming Mrs. Mulberry by Jackie French. What a story. Okay, so a couple of things I need to tell you. We have got an event coming up. We talked a little bit about it last week. It's called When Love Comes to Town. And the first town, so do you know about this idea, Rae?
It's fabulous.
What
It's
a cute
such
idea.
a cute idea.
Yeah. So 3 authors are going to come to Tamworth on May the 4th. Rachel Johns, right? Here we go. Rachel Johns, Penelope Janu, and Stella Quinn, right? So they are going to be in Tamworth on May 4th. And Jane and I are also going to be at the event. We're going to get the train to Tamworth.
Lovely.
We're going to do a little train trip, and I will be moderating the panel, and Jane will be in the audience saying hello. Now, if you would like to RSVP, are the tickets free? I think they are, but the tickets are free, but you have to jump online to register and put your name down. So if you're anywhere near Tamworth and you would like to join us, please do. I'd love to meet you. Okay, now, what would you like to talk about? What are you reading? What are you reading, Rae?
Finished The Running Club by Ali Lowe.
We love Ali.
Oh,
yes.
so do I. Gee, she's clever. It's a twisty, pacey novel. It's set in a suburban running club, although the suburb is more Stepford than most. And then there's all these underlying tensions. But there's a murder in the running club, and so the whole book is about trying to find out who that is, but also trying to find out who the victim is, because she doesn't let that out until well into the book. But the thing that Ali does beautifully is she writes thrillers that have humour in them, which I think is quite, you don't always find that in thrillers. And there's a scene in there, there's a cheese and wine night, that she's got all these sarcastic quips in it, and I was laughing out loud. It's such a great book.
That.
I do. I really do. Yeah. It's very clever.
Yeah, I love that too. Also, we've got a book. We're going to put the cover up on screen by Sarah Penner, and it's called London. What's that? A séance, a London séance society. I've never been to a séance. Have you?
When I was a kid, I think.
Yeah, when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the book. It's a spellbinding story about 2 daring women who hunt for truth, justice, and the art of conjuring the dead. And I guess they do it through that séance board. Do you know, I've never done it because I'm just a chicken. I don't want to know. It's not that I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not, but I don't want to know.
Yeah, I have no idea whether it's true.
No, I don't, and I don't need to know that.
No, I don't want to know either.
No, okay. So Jane said that Penny's book was published in 2017. Janine, hi. She says hi to us. Just read The Forgotten Bookshop in Paris by Daisy Wood. Intriguing. Looking forward to dying to know. Cindy says The Secret Lives of Dresses is what she's reading as well by Erin McKean. Amanda says about to finish a non-fiction book, Goldfish in the Parlour, about aquariums, etc. in the UK, mostly in the 1800s by John Simmons. I know, they're just such varied readers. Yeah, absolutely. And do you know, the better reading readers, all you guys out there, they read everything. They're just, they're not just crime fiction readers or commercial women or whatever, non-fiction. They'll just read anything, which, I love that about our audience. Rita is reading The Age-Old Joyful Life by Rosemary Karayuki and enjoying it. Martin is reading Jane Eyre. Holly, I read Fire with Fire in one sitting. Loved it. Highly recommend it.
Looking forward to that one.
You are?
Yeah.
Alona just finished The Unbearable Bossington by Saki, now reading The Night and Women. The Night and Women's Compendium by Denise Picton. Annette, Tapestry by Maria Poletta Carioli, and Soldier Boy by Anthony Hill. Now, we've got a podcast. We had a chat with Ali Lowe, and if you'd like to listen to the podcast, it's right there. So your podcast is not released yet because we only did it yesterday, but it will be out soon. But if you want to listen to the podcast, you click on those links or just go to your Apple podcast provider. Okay, so a couple of things I want to talk about. The lovely Toni Jordan. Do you know her?
I have read her books, but yes,
Yeah.
really want to read this one.
Yeah,
I love the title.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's called Prettier If She Smiled More. She was in the other day. She used to be a biochemist, I think. That was her profession. Yeah, I know. Because you used to be a youth worker.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how a lot of authors have a dual career.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, that's Tony, and she wrote, her first book was Addition, which you'll all remember. And this is her new book. And she was in the office last week, and we just had, was it last week? Yeah, it was last week. And we had such a lovely time with her. Anyway, and the podcast is out now. That's out now. Alexandra Collier, I had a lovely chat with her. The book's out, but so is a podcast, and it's a memoir about a journey to becoming a mother on her own terms. It really is, yeah, it's a long journey for her. And it was a long and difficult one, and it's really, really well told, very honest, and the podcast was lovely. So jump on and have a listen. The Half Brother by Christine Carey. I love this cover.
It's a great cover. That's what I'm just mesmerised by.
Yeah, it's a really great cover. It's a domestic noir, and it's full of family secrets, and it's quite chilling. And there's a mysterious kind of surprise that comes out in the end. But that's the book, and it's called The Half Brother. So there you go. Great cover. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to read a few more comments, and then I'm going to come to you about what you're reading. Cindy says she has the running club on her to-be pile. Emma says, reading I Have Some Questions for You by Rebecca Markai. Kane, hi there, I'm reading Damascus Station by David McCloskey. If you dig spy fiction, you'll like it. You do? Yeah. Cindy, the London Seance Society is on my must-read list. Oh, there you go. Rita finally read The Bluffs by Kyle Perry, which we love, Kyle, down in Tasmania. It was a great read. Also read Did I Ever Tell You This, a memoir by Sam Neill. Segue, Rita. I've got that right here. That's right here. And we're trying to get Sam in for a podcast, which I think we might be able to pull off. And Rita's also read The Perfumist of Paris. And she's looking forward to reading Rae's new book, which is, here it is, Dying to Know. Okay, so that's Sam Neill. What else have you got?
I've got Melissa Doyle's 15 Seconds of Brave, which came out last year. I tend to listen to my non-fiction. I think audiobooks are books. So I know there's a bit of a battle about that.
Not here. You're in a safe space. Well, I think, and you guys will, they'll tell us, but I think we do both, don't we? And a lot of our readers and our audience do audio and do print and do ebook, but some people do audio and print simultaneously. I've
got an upstairs book, a downstairs book, and an audio book on the go, and a non-fiction book, a research book at any given time. So
is that because you can't take your downstairs book upstairs and you're
I usually read like I think on my bedside table I've got the new Emily Henry that's just kind of nice, easy reading that's not going to terrify me before I go to bed, and then I read my thrillers downstairs, and then the research stuff downstairs, and then when I walk I tend to listen to an audio book, or just doing stuff around the house or whatever. So Melissa's book is kind of drawing on her time as a journalist, her favourite, well, some of her favourite interviewees who have shown great resilience in times of trauma and tragedy. And it was just such an uplifting book, so inspiring. I came away going, I want to have some of these people over for dinner because they are just amazing people. And there's like a little boy in it. There's all sorts. It was an incredible read. I really enjoyed it. And Melissa does the audio narration.
I was going to ask that,
which makes it even better.
I think with non-fiction it really does, doesn't it? Because you are hearing the voice.
Yeah.
The voice in your head is the right voice, We had Melissa in as well. We did we recorded a podcast with her, and she also came in for something else I can't remember, but she's wonderful and really spoke to the book quite beautifully. Okay, all right. Now well, the whole planet is reading this book. The whole planet. I mean, everybody knows and loves her. Pip Williams. Pip Williams' new book, The Bookbinder of Jericho. Now, this book has only been out for a week or so, and I can't tell you how many positive comments we've had. Everybody that's reading it so far is loving it. So tell me what you think. We've got her coming in, but that's a surprise. It's a surprise event, and we'll share that with you shortly. So that's what we've got there. I'm going to go through some comments, and then I'm going to come back to you. Okay, Pip, sharing the same name as Pip Williams. Hi, ladies. Great to hear the news and meet Rae. I'm currently reading Anzac Girls by Peter Rees, Desi Girls by Sarah Malik, and The Echo Chamber by John Boyne. Wow, she's got 3 on the go. Anne, oh, that's a good question, Anne. I'm not sure. Will we be live streaming the session in Tamworth, Jane? Jane's here. She knows everything.
No, it's not. We'll be sharing lots of footage from it, but we're not.
No, we won't be. So get on that train, Anne, and get yourself to Tamworth, or you can come with Jane and I. Lynn is reading the Alan Rickman Diaries. Very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Kylie, hi Kylie. Hope you're both well. We are, and she's currently reading Between Husbands by Catherine Mahoney.
It's lucky she's got the capitals.
Oh, I know. I know. She's wonderful. She won the book prize last year.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Now, the link for the Tony Jordan podcast is up. Gillian said, just finished the Abomination by Ashley Goldberg. And Faye just downloaded Dying to Know.
Thank you.
There we go. And also Sam's books, I am set for the weekend. There you go. Jill said, love Sam Neill. We all do. Mary says, hello. Teresa, my current book club read is The Last Garden in England by Julia Kelly. Sam Neill is on my list for July. Oh, gosh, you're working that far out, are you, Teresa? So you've got, what month are we in now? April. We're in April, and then we go to May, June, July. So do you have... That's wonderful. I've never, ever known that people do that. Teresa, tell us, am I going down the right track here? And I love it. Isn't that super organised?
Yeah, it's amazing.
What books you're reading? What month? Love that, Teresa. Okay, all right, fantastic. So Melissa says, hello, Cheryl and Rae. I'm reading The Nurse's War by Victoria Perman, which, is this right? She's doing the event next Wednesday night. Yes, so you know our Wednesday night, 8 p.m. event, live event? It's Victoria Perman. Somebody might need to pass me that book and I'll talk about it. Okay, Kylie's currently reading Between Husbands by Catherine Mahoney. Hi, Kaz is reading A Routine by Elizabeth Coleman. Gillian says print only for her. She doesn't read anything else, which is fine.
Yeah, whatever works.
Amanda, my neighbour mostly only does audiobooks from the library for her fiction reading, listens to them on her walks, train commutes to work, and visiting family in country towns. I mean, so versatile, isn't it? You know what I've taken to? I've subscribed to this app called Autumn, I think it's called, and I read The New Yorker on audio.
Oh,
and I read articles.
Idea.
Yeah, New Yorker. I can't remember what other. And there's a couple of New York Times. So any kind of long form article is read, and that helps me catch up on my reading. So I do that on audio. Anyway, there you go.
Great.
Yeah. Now, what else have you got? Lovely, Rae.
On Tuesday night, I think it was, I went to the launch
of
the Double Bind, Lorraine Peck's new book. So this is her follow-up book to The Second Son. I haven't read this yet, but gee, it sounds interesting. It's all, she's got the Mexican cartels in here, but she's also got a mother who comes from kind of middle class. It's a crime war, families trying to escape your family. It sounds amazing. So I'm really looking forward to reading that.
I want to know a little bit about the launch because there were a lot of people there.
The launch was amazing.
Where was it?
It was at the Glee Books. It's
Glee
moved,
Books.
And she'd had it catered Croatian food, and there was all sorts of people, all her family were there. There were heaps of authors there in support of her.
I think our Jane was there.
Jane was there.
Yes.
And yeah, we had a whole heap of people turn up and support her. She's a lovely
wonderful
lady.
Yeah. Now, speaking of coming to events, Jax, can we put that back up? When Love Comes to Town, the Tamworth event. Rachel Johns, Penelope Janu, Stella Quinn, May 4th. Jane and I are going to be there. We're getting the train that morning. We're going to be on. I'm going to be interviewing the writers, and Jane's going to be hanging out and having a drink with you guys. I don't know why Jane got that
I was going
job.
to say, how did that happen?
I don't know why. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'm sure you guys are asking the same question. How come Jane got that job and I got the hard job? No, it's going to be great fun. I can't wait, actually. Kaz is reading we've talked about that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Barbara, on my planet, I'm reading The Bandit Queens by Parani Scroff. Mary is reading Deception Creek by Fleur McDonald. Do you know Fleur?
Yeah, she's
lovely.
fabulous.
Listening to Fiona McCallum's new one as well. Hi, ladies. Hi, Jess is reading The Absolute Book by Elizabeth Knox. Faye, I usually have a physical book and an ebook and an audio book on the go at once. Well, that's all three formats, Faye. Maybe not large print, but you've nearly covered all formats. That's wonderful. Penny just started reading The Only Suspect by Louise Candlish. Segue.
I want to read.
Segue. Oh, God, I had such a great conversation with her the other day. I recorded a podcast with her. You know, she was talking about, I think this is like her 14th or 15th book, but she really came into her own once she started writing fiction because she's English and she's from the UK. And she said there was a real, at the time that she was writing commercial fiction, there was, people just weren't giving it any credibility, and poo-pooing it, if you like. And so she turned her hand to writing crime, and now she's got a book deal, film deal, a TV deal, all sorts of things. It's amazing, isn't it? But she's a really lovely person and a wonderful writer. It's super. I mean, the podcast is great. She's got a lot to say. So that's that. We were all commenting on how much everybody loves this book, The Wakes by Diane Yarwood. Did you want to make a comment about that?
No, I just really want to read it. I'm leaving here with the hugest TBR pile.
Right, there you go. So that's out as well. What have we got here? Teresa, yes, we schedule up to 6 months in advance. Oh, my God, I am loving this, Teresa. We schedule up to 6 months in advance. For those borrowing them, they have time to order.
That's a great idea.
It's a really, really good idea. Wonderful. I'd like to hear more about that if you want to share that with us. Julie says, Melissa Doyle's book sounds fantastic. I've been convinced to download it as audio. Thank you, Julie. Teresa, she reads other books in between those monthly books. So is it the monthly books or a book club? It might be what it is. Mary said the double bind sounds great. Kylie says, what date? What date does the new top 100 get posted? Soon. What date? The 27th of April. So we'll be sending out a special newsletter. We'll be making an announcement on our Facebook page. It's always a very, very exciting time. And we also announce the winners of the book packs as well. Barbara is halfway through Girl, Woman, Other by, she won the Booker, didn't she, for that book? Yeah. Very challenging and, she needs a break. Yeah, I can imagine. Roberta. Oh, hi, Roberta.
Hi,
Do you know Bert too?
She's my publisher.
Oh, my God. Hi, Roberta. There you go. So Rae's publisher is on, and she says, hello, Rae and Cheryl, fab conversation, and watching from my holiday on the South Coast. I'm looking forward to the new Emily Henry. Oh, thank you for joining us, Roberta, and I hope you're having a lovely time. I worked with Bert years and years ago at Random House.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I've known her for a very long time. And in actual fact, when I moved from my house and moved into an apartment, I gave Bert all my plants in my garden. Or not all of them, but most of them. I hope they're still alive, is all I can say. I'm sure they
Someone's
are.
looking after them.
Someone's looking after them, yes. Yeah. Mary says that she has The Wakes to read, and Margaret is reading Rivers of London by Ben Aronovich, which is witty, funny, and a cross between the Bill and Harry Potter. Oh, there you go. I know, that sounds great. Hey, speaking of Harry Potter, as you all know, I pick up my great nephews on a Monday afternoon, and they're now, the 10-year-old's gone to kind of middle school, high school. And I asked him, this is really a cute story. I asked him what the day is like, at school. How does your day look like? And do you have periods where, because I don't know what you do in year 5 and if it's the same as in year 7. And he said, yes. And so he started talking about each period. And one of the periods was the teacher reads Harry Potter for an hour and you go and join in.
Oh,
Did I just love that?
yeah. How brilliant is that? Talk
So
about-
one of the hours every day is a reading hour. I
Oh,
just
that's
thought, oh,
brilliant. So they're encouraging reading.
yeah. But also, isn't it just
It's
wonderful to be
fantastic.
read to?
Yes.
I think that is
Yes.
such a lovely thing to be doing with, 10-year-old
Yeah.
boys.
I
Yeah.
miss doing it with my kids because they're 21 and 18 now, so they don't like to be read to anymore. But
Mm.
yeah, I miss that. I miss that time with them.
Do you know, I think that that's why audio is so popular as well, because there is an intimacy between the narrator and you. Do you find that?
Gee, I never thought about that like that, but absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. If with a good narrator,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
And also, I mean, I remember when I was, so I read it in Michelle Obama's, so I read the
Yes,
print book, and then I downloaded the audio,
I did audio for that one.
and then I did the audio again, and then she's my best friend. That's my relationship now with her.
Yeah, it was.
I know her, and
fabulous.
she's my best
It
friend.
was so good on audio. that
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, I felt that with Gabriel Byrne as well, the actor. He wrote a beautiful book about, not being famous, just about life and love and growing up. And I wanted to write him a note and just say, I think you and I need to go out for a drink.
It's a very big dinner party you're gonna have, isn't
it is. Jane's actually met him as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Roberta says that those plants are going gangbusters, so I'm glad. All right, now you've got one more, and then we're going to finish up. Okay.
So this is sometimes as an author you get really lucky and you get sent advanced reader copies. So I've got an advanced reader copy of Mercedes Mercier's Black Lies. It's the sequel to last year's White Noise, and it's focused on a prison psychologist, Dr. Laura Fleming. In this one, the state's most infamous criminal is diagnosed with terminal cancer, and he's only got weeks to live, and Laura is sent in to convince him to tell everyone where his victim was buried. But as she meets with him, she starts to think everything isn't exactly as it seems, and she starts to realize that how far people will go to stop the truth and the past coming to light.
There we go. Now, I think that's it for us today. Speaking of proofs, remember, you can have a proof too. Well, they're either called proofs or they're called advanced reading copies, and they usually have that noted on them. And they're usually not the final cover. Sometimes they are, and sometimes they aren't. But if you'd like to get one of these, you know how that works. You sign up to our newsletter, and you sign up to what's called our preview program, and we give away 2 or 3 times a week 3 books that you can preview, and it goes to 50 or 100 lucky readers. And I know that many of you are participating in that program. Okay, I'm going to read a few more of these, and then I'm going to sign off. Deborah, hi ladies. It's been a while as we've been a member of our family in lockdown. Oh, that's a shame. So as a family's been in lockdown with my son, who had a positive reading, but we will get there eventually. I hope so. I've just finished the book Clark. Took me a while to get through. Now I've just started reading The Dark Mode by
I loved that book. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, go for your life.
Ashley
That was
Collegian
Deborah.
Blunt. It was amazing.
How do you pronounce the middle name? Collegian.
I'm going to say Collegian. I'm probably
Yes.
wrong.
No,
Sorry,
yeah.
Ashley. It's just such a clever book.
Yeah, there you go.
Delving into an area most of us don't know much about.
Okay, all right. So Teresa clarified that she's only doing out to June because it's book club. That makes more sense. Thank you, Teresa, and thanks for clarifying that with us. Sue just finished The Only Suspect by Louise Candlish. It was a good read. And Mary says, good narrator makes an audio book great. I agree with that. Now, listen, peeps, we're all out of time. Everybody stay safe. We've got a few days off, taking an Easter break. So whatever it is you do over those 4 days, whether it's Easter or Ramadan or whatever happens, you have a happy and safe time with your family and have some reading time, right?
Yeah. And thanks so much for having me on part of your community. It's such a great community here.
Well, thank you for joining us, Rae, on such short notice as well. And she did very, very well. All right, that's it from us. See you next time. Or see you next week.